Hi everybody, I'm Kyle, that's Ian, and that's Reid. And last week's video was dialogue shrubs, and these are the comments. Zelda Medic, Mass Effect right there. Reminds me of when you first run into the 5 in the Citadel. I haven't played Mass Effect in a while. You probably know this better than I do.
Yeah.
You read this one.
Reminds me when you first run into this. That's a 6.
It's a 6.
That's a 6. You don't even need to know Mass Effect. That's just Roman numerals. I mean, dialogue tree. That's VI. It actually stands for virtual intelligence. It's not a number at all, Kyle.
Oh. I haven't played it. You just read it off.
Reminds me when you run into the virtual intelligence in the Citadel, they have a dialogue tree where you can eventually lead to where the VI basically calls humanity lesser. One of the vague choices was, hey, I resent that. Shepard proceeded to yell in an angry voice, that's damned arrogant! Mass Effect is actually the premier version of this particular trope where it's like, you have two choices. You give them candy or you kill their kitten.
Okay, from Libertiness Fink, what's your opinion of video game movies? Why do you think that so many of them lack the touch that this video seems to have? You seem to understand game logic and video game logic and are able to make it in a fun video. I'm just butchering this. If Hollywood ever asks you to direct a movie, I hope it's a video game one, you would do awesome. Like Heavy Rain?
No, I think he's talking about movies based off of games.
Oh.
Although it's a valid confusion.
No, I think it's actually that it highlights the point. One thing I've really enjoyed about recent video gaming is the idea that, hey, we can make this into an actual storytelling medium that isn't just...
Well, yeah, that's actually what I was going to say. I actually kind of disagree with trying to convert movies or games into movies in the first place, because I think the attitude so far has been, hey, let's take this thing and turn it into a legitimate form of entertainment.
No.
Like, I think game stories work best in games usually.
It's like by the time I actually played my way through to Metal Gear Solid 4, I was so happy. I was equally happy to watch the cutscenes as I was to play the game. Which was great, because it was a straight half and half there.
I didn't like Heavy Rain.
Yeah, that genre is completely... I don't even think that counts as either of them, actually. That's not a movie or a game. That's like a...
It's another way to like sort of broach the space. It's kind of like whereas Metal Gear Solid is like, here, you play some, we show you some. Here, it was trying to like blend the two.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, and I would like to play it at some point, but I haven't.
And that's almost a weird thing, just kind of like tandem topic of like, it's still... Games are still in this sort of stage where they're trying to... make them like movies, because they haven't quite figured out how to make them their own thing yet. It's the same way where when people first made movies, they basically just like filmed plays.
Yeah.
Like they just set up a camera and then performed a play in front of it, and then later people were like, hey wait, we could cut this and manipulate time and things like that.
As soon as VR gets its feet off the ground, it's going to be...
That's going to be a whole new thing. I don't even know what's going to happen with that. From 11D3, I'm still on the fence regarding whether or not this counts as a gunshot gag. I guess you ended in a loud entry? Yeah, it totally counts. I would argue that this one had more of a thematic point than the gunshot gags, because it was contrast between the really detailed positive reaction he was planning on doing and the really simplistic negative reaction that ended up happening.
But isn't immediate violence kind of like why we do the gunshot gag? Gunshot gog all the time anyway. Like the contrasting. If it were fitting, we wouldn't do the gunshot gag.
I guess so.
He wins this one. Yeah. Cardiac says, "Yeah, see, my ideas aren't silly." By the way, great Magic Wizard robe. That was all him. Yeah. He made that. He made that by hand.
That was one of our Renfair costumes for Jeffrey. We just made. That's what he wore last year, and it just worked. Works really well on Jeffrey. Makes
We're going to link the Jeffrey the Inappropriate Mage GIF below.
Oh yeah, we should do that.
From Sasquatch at his computer, that Ian model would certainly be helpful in explaining the uncanny valley to someone.
So the uncanny valley is the idea that up to a certain point, CGI animation looks kind of cool, and then it's like it gets more and more realistic. And we're more and more accepting of it. Then as it gets to a certain point of realism, we just go, whoa, that's not okay at all. Until it gets perfect.
Oh. It's just like...
That's the valley, right?
It's the part right before it where it's like just slightly not real enough, and you can sort of subconsciously pick up on it and be like, that's weird.
So there's this evolutionary
like
thing.
The 2011 version of The Thing?
Maybe?
Back a long time ago, these guys made this movie off this book called The Thing.
Right.
and it's super scary.
I think I know what you're talking about, because how they use practical effects in the original one, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
tried to do CGI in the
And
new
there was
one.
all CGI in the new one, which was still scary because I mean it was still people falling apart into a monster,
Right.
but it looked kind of.
But it had that one weird thing where it
I
didn't
mean,
look like
it was pretty good,
Yeah.
but it
Polar
wasn't.
Express is
or,
the...
That's a
that-
go-to
that-
example.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, why do I hate this?
Or
This
The
is a
Mist.
children's-
One of my favorite movies of all time, The Mist, because it sucks so much.
Does it?
Well, it's like a great movie, except that it's not at all.
Stephen King movies turn out like that a lot, it seems like.
Well, Stephen
They're
King
based
has
off
this...
of great books that...
Yeah.
Stephen King, he says that, like, if you're, like, an honest, like, you know, first starting out filmmaker who really wants to give it a shot, you can license one of his properties, one of his short stories for $1.
Huh. Interesting.
Which leads to a lot of really crappy Stephen King...
This was like a
Adaptations.
full, like, you know, theatrical release. Just, it was bad.
From T. Watson. I like the community comments on this channel. You guys are awesome. Thank you, T. You're awesome. So that was the general response, actually. We got a lot of responses saying to keep them on this channel. So they will stay here. I guess it was just that one guy, so...
Sorry, one guy.
Sorry, man.
Master Necrosis! I'm Master Necrosis. Define topical. Because I've been reverting back to my childhood and emulating old 64 games due to the stress of my program, so I don't know. GTA 5? The Telltale game thing where you stare awkwardly and don't say anything is a conversation option? This War of Mine where you solved up depression with homemade moonshine?
What was with the voice? What was that? You've never done that before.
It must be...
I think, we'll try to do topical games like as much as possible. Like this last week, assuming something didn't go wrong in the next couple of days, we released I Am Bread, which is it was just fun. Like I don't know, it was just there was a game called I Am Bread, and I just wanted to make a video because I wanted to puppet bread. And so you know things like that. If there's like a new game comes out, we now have the opportunity to make it because we're not.
Just for the record, his actual reason where was because I wanted to puppet bread. In case I was lost. It wasn't because I liked the game or I had a cool idea. It's because I wanted... Somewhere in the back of his mind for the past 3 years, Kyle's like, if only there was a way to puppet bread and make it relevant. But no!
Firemaster Steve says Portal would be a cool skit theme. We
Funny,
filmed
you should mention.
a Portal video already, actually, and I was thinking about going back. The reason it was never released is because the effects were taking a really long time, and it was sort of like the Avatar video in that there wasn't a whole lot of story. It was more of just a fight video. If you guys are interested in it, I'm totally up for now with my current After Effects knowledge going in and finishing that video and releasing it. It was Cave Johnson fighting mobsters with the prototype Portal gun. If that sounds like something you'd like to see, let us know.
You want to see me with the Tommy gun and a fedora? Actually, Jeffrey had the Tommy gun, didn't he?
He did. Also, it was the video that Reid almost got shot by police trying to film.
Basically, Reid did something bad and almost got shot.
Yeah.
I think that covers it.
Sounds like a Friday night for me.
Here, you can read our last one.
Good. From Burntle. Has no one ever made that joke before?
No, they haven't.
It's like strudel, or schnitzel, or Berntel.
Is that what a strudel, like when you leave it in the toaster too long, it's Burntle?
If you ever only done strudel that were toastable?
Well, like toaster strudel.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's like
Is there a different type of strudel?
Ian, you're not supposed to do those two things together.
Come on, man.
Okay, read his comment.
I came back from college to get away from that. Okay. What is Ian's least favorite word?
Oh, it is succulent.
Wait,
So here's the thing. I really hate commercials that are like, look at this wonderful succulent brownie. Like, no, stop that, you.
Alright, next Monday's video should be something involving Reid dressed as the spy.
It will?
We don't know for sure yet. Yes.
About this?
Yes.
Oh.
You're here for a week. We're doing that at some point.
Oh, I didn't know that was going down this soon.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you the ideas later. That's it. See you guys next Friday.